You again. Good. So good morning, everyone. I think it's morning, but anyway, good afternoon or good evening. My name is Thomas. I have here with me Maria and Felipe from the Free Electrons team. We've managed this webinar to have further information about the program. We are aware that some of you may already know very well, but this is very important to know how is the next steps and take any doubts or have some tips about the pitch event that we're going to have next week. So let's talk about it. For today, I will give you some brief presentation about free electrons. And then we're gonna talk about the pitch event and how to pitch. It's very short time, just 6 minutes pitch and 6 minutes Q&A. So we have some tips to give you. And of course, we're gonna have a Q&A with you right now to have some questions that you may have. And then we can move smoothly to next week. So free electrons, this is our 7th edition Free Electrons program. This is one of the biggest electric programs to connect these utilities with startups. We've been through this edition since November, December last year with the open call, and then we have the submissions until the end of January. And right now we've been through the selection phase, and this is our first moment with you guys to have the pitch event. We are very excited to do it, and it's very good to know your solutions, to know your technology, and to develop this relationship with the utilities. This is very important question. This is a program, it's quite long, we will see. We're gonna take all the year to have this program. And this is much more a relationship program than the transactional. I mean, of course, we all want to have pilots and contracts at the end, but this is done step by step with innovation departments from these utilities and with you, with the startups. So we have here the utilities all around the world. So AEP from the United States, CLP from Hong Kong, EDP from Portugal, E.ON from Germany, ESP from Ireland, Hydro-Quebec from Canada, and Oregon from Australia. All of them are very used to have relationship with startups. They're very mature. They are used to develop technology and to implement that in their business units. So it be very easy to get pilots with them if it makes sense. These are the main challenges. Every year we review the challenges. You know that the electricity sector is its ongoing changes, and there's a lot of pressure on this. So we've reviewed that, and we have these 8 big challenges, which are utilities to develop technology and solutions to their clients or to their generation, transmission, or any step of the value chain. Quickly, we're going to see the roadmap. So we have next week the online pitch day. We've been through more than 500 applications, and then we get 60 startups to the pitch event. This is the first moment to see you guys, to see the technologies, the startups. It's very quick, so we are gonna do the best to have all the information. The utilities are very aware of your information as well. They have your pitch deck, they have some videos, and all the information that you send it by the F6S form, they have all of this information with them. Have been through the forms along the last couple of weeks. So of course, these are kind of cold information because we're not talking with you. But now on the pitch day, on the online pitch day, we're gonna have the first meeting to understand who you are, to have to have a look on your team. So this is a very important first step to have our relationship established. So all of these steps are structured to have 60 startups right now on the online pitch. And the next step, which is the bootcamp that will have be hosting Dublin, there will be 30 startups. So we're going to have a selection from the online pitch to the bootcamp. We are still in a selection phase. This is very important to know. So we're going to move from 60 startups to 30 startups in the bootcamp in Dublin in May. This is the first time in person that you meet each other, and then the main objective is to have development of the pilots. So understanding how the challenges of the startup of the utilities can meet the solutions and how this can be developed in some pilots. It's the first time of collaboration. It's very rich one-on-one conversations. And from the bootcamp until the next models, we are always having open day to have to understand how is the local ecosystem, and then we can meet some people from there, in this case from Dublin. From the bootcamp to the next stage, the master model, we're gonna have 15 finalists. So here is to deepen the relationship regarding the pilots. So this specifically to develop a roadmap on the pilots. Of course, some of these pilots may be faster, depending on the utility and the startups. But we want to guarantee that startups and utilities have time enough to talk, to understand the pilots, to understand the technology, and go further. So at this moment, we're going to have, again, one-on-one meetings to talk about the project scope and then the solutions to go further. And probably from here, the pilots are very, let's say, independent from the program, because you already know each other, you have the contacts, so you can have the pilots going on. Sometimes, of course, depending on the technology and the utility, it may takes a longer time. This is the commons, this is the usual. But as a program, we are going to make the best to have you in touch and have the proper meetings and tools to develop pilots. So the final model, which we call the grand finale, we're going to have still 15, those 15 finalists from the master model go again to the grand finale, which will be hosted in Mumbai in October. This is especially to have the final conversations about the pilot, but especially to have a very good moment with you, and it's a commemoration. It's a very happy time to have the grand finale, and we have the award as well. We have 2 awards in the Electrons program. One of them is a money award, 200,000 euros, and the another one, it's a Akimoto award. It's a acknowledgement regarding the most intelligent participant. So these are the main stages. This program will take probably all year, deepening relationship with the utilities. This is very important. Some of you may want to be faster. This is expected actually, but there's no problem. Eventually, utilities can be in a fast pace, but we have all of the steps to guarantee that we're going to have very good pilots at the end. So let's talk a little bit how it's going to be next week on the online pitch sessions. So as I just said, we had more than 500 applications. You've made it to the top 60. So this is our first time to know your solution and to get in touch with utilities. So hello, Dominic. We're going to use very important technical issue. We're going to use Zoom. I believe most of you have already received the link in the invitation in the time slot. Please let me know if you have some issues, some problem to have access or with the invitation or to access Zoom. If you're not used to use Zoom, please navigate on that. We highly recommend to download the application and do not access Zoom in your browser. This is very important. It's very common to have problems using browser. Okay, so please download the application. We ask you to arrive 20 or 30 minutes before, just to check if everything's okay, the technical issues. We can try sharing and see if this sounds fine and so on. What else? Well, me, Maria, we're going to meet Diogo as well. We are here to help you. Any question? We already have your phone contacts. So any trouble, please let me know. Go, Richard, please.
Is it possible to request a different time slot for than you've been allocated?
Yeah, you can try it. You have most of people already confirmed.
Yeah.
But please let me know, and then we can maybe switch with another one.
Okay.
But I would say that's not easy, but we can try.
Okay, almost any other slot would have done, but I'll send an email then. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Richard. So arrive 20 minutes before. You're gonna have 6 minutes pitch and 6 minutes Q&A. We are very strict with the time control because we have 60 pitches to have in 3 days. So we're gonna be very strict on that. There's not much to say. How it works in the Zoom link, we're gonna have this main Zoom room that we are right now, for example, and then we're gonna have a breakout room to the pitches. So we're gonna have like a lobby stage for those that are arriving before. Diogo will be with you, and then those guys that are going to the pitch, they are going to the breakout room. So who is going to watch the pitches? All of the 7 utilities, mainly from the innovation departments. Most of them are there with at least 2 people, and some representatives from the business units will be linked on the Zoom as well. And of course, we from Beta-E, which are the supporters, technical supporters of Electrons, we're going to have 3 people there in person and then online as well. So anytime that you have some trouble, please let us know. You're going to have our telephone numbers as well, our email. So anytime, just let us know. Okay. So I will ask Maria to move to how to pitch a pilot. This is a very important information and tips, because these utilities, as I said before, they are very used to watch pitches, so they want to be very straightforward. So here's some tips to have the most from these 6 minutes.
Hi everyone. So we want you to make the most out of this event and really be able to pitch your pilots to our utilities. So the focus here is just to provide you some tips and to really help you navigate what's important to get done and to achieve out of this short 6 minutes. So can you please move forward? Exactly. So why do we pitch? There are 3 main reasons why we pitch. Please again, if you can. The first one is to convey information, convey the right information, particularly being a short amount of time. We really need to prioritize what utilities need to know, to generate feelings, to create this deep desire or want for your solution, to really understand how it would benefit them, and to influence decisions, right? To call to action, to get people to sign a pilot agreement with you. Slide. So the structure of the pitch. We're providing you a general structure of 3 main points: the problem, the pilot proposal, and the call to action. So it's up to you to really understand how you want to manage time. But we recommend that you start by providing an overview of the problem, how you got there. Is it a general topic? And then start working on it. Can you please move slides? Start working on it from the general topic to a more, to streamline it to a more specific one. And then we have the pilot proposal. This area is key for us to understand your unique value proposition, how you stand out from competition, and talk about the technical solution at heart, right? Not only the core benefits of what it does, but also the technicality behind it and the business solution, what's solving. And lastly, the next steps. The call to action really needs to focus on what costs would be involved, what's the expected impact, timelines, key milestones, or important KPIs that you would want to achieve. Team resources that would be necessary from the utility itself, as obviously this is a co-testing of a solution, and a risk assessment. It's really important here to also let know why your team is the right team to execute this project. What is your technical expertise? What background or experience do you have? So if you have any other piloting experience, it's really interesting to see business cases. So if you can pick a few highlights of previous experience, I think that can very much enrich your pitch. But it's all about communication. And sometimes we are too fast to focus solely on the content and not think about our presence in this moment and what we are transmitting as people. Because at the end of the day, pitching is truly selling ourselves, the emotions we convey, and reassure people that we have what it takes to get the job done. So vocal, verbal, and non-verbal communication are as important as the content itself. Can you please move forward? Okay, so about verbal communication. Our advice is for you to really keep it simple and avoid using any technical jargon or over-complex concepts. If you can instead focus on articulating one single idea per slide, I'm sure the audience will have a much easier time following up with you. So this is key for you to really understand or to set yourself for success is to digest your pitch, really work on how the audience would be receiving it, and understand exactly what would set you apart and communicate it clearly. Please move forward. Once again. And about vocal communication. Speed and pace are very important. We know 6 minutes is not a lot of time, but you really want to make sure that you're taking your time and the space around you to get the message across. And the tone is very important. If you feel confident, I'm sure that will transmit and will definitely invite utilities to want to know more about your solution and your team. And lastly, we have nonverbal communication. The way we fill out the room, the way we present ourselves, how confident we are, if we're keeping eye contact or not, all of this truly adds up. It's like the cherry on top of the cake, but it's something that should not be overlooked. So just a quick roundup of a few tips that you should avoid when making a pitch. This comes out of our experience as the innovation partners for Free Electrons and many other projects. We really have been able to summarize some of the things that have helped startups to stand out throughout the years. So first of all is eyes on the crowd, right? So you're telling a story and you need to be engaging, you need to be compelling. Some people can naturally draw others to them, but this is also a skill that you learn and that you foster. So start by introducing your team and the problem that you're solving, and then walk through the solution and how your startup can make impact. Right? So at the end, you always need to have a call to action that inspires utilities to want to get to know you, to want to further explore conversations and even pilot opportunities. And do it with confidence. Remember, this is not an investment pitch, so the relationship is really important. When knowing your audience, so you need to prepare yourself. I think most of you have truly explored our Free Electrons website. And if not, I really advise you to, as there's a lot of really relevant information there that can help you better prepare and know exactly how to present your solution. So from reverse pitches from the utilities that are available online, you should also be looking at the history of utilities in the program. What type of startups have they been investing? What challenges are they trying to address for this edition? As this is all information that will help you tailor your pitch to the audience and to show how you have a good understanding of the market and how you can truly understand their priorities, their challenges, etc. Another really important point is to focus on numbers and show traction, particularly if your business has already launched. It's really important to demonstrate its progress, what key metrics you've met or overcome, because this shows success and this builds trust, right? So all utilities want to see a clear path to profitability. They want to know where they will investing. They'll be able to reap some fruits out of it. So it's really important for you to clearly communicate how you plan to generate revenue and to answer any questions regarding financial projections, etc. Remember that whenever you're making an assumption, you need to be able to justify it. There will be a 6-minute Q&A afterwards, and partners will really try to dig in the specificities of what you're doing, what you're saying. So let's keep it simple, as we've advised before. One thought per slide, no heavy text, no buzzwords. It's really important to have clear messages with proper spelling. Obviously, this being an international program, the language we adopt is English. So please make sure that all the content is in English. Even if you want to portray parts of a business case that you've done with another company, please try to translate it, as it's really important for everyone to be on board and to feel comfortable with what you're showcasing. Next. So focus on the technological potential and impact of your solution. So utilities will be evaluating each pitch in light of 4 dimensions, those being relevance, likelihood, novelty, and readiness. So relevance, it's about how the startup solution can contribute to their challenges. Likelihood is about if they feel like there's a potential possibility or a high probability of truly partnering with you for pre-electrons. Novelty, is it different? Is your solution any different from what's out there in the market? How do you differ from competition? And readiness, are you ready to really put on the boots and engage in this awesome open innovation program? Are you ready to test your solution? Are you ready to collaborate with utilities, etc.? Lastly, listen to the questions until the end. This is very important. I know that 6 minutes seems like a really short time, and sometimes might trigger you to want to be as quick and on your feet as possible. But please make sure that you listen to the questions until the end. This will be done by the utilities themselves, and try to be as clear as possible, remembering that you're time-bound. So you will allow for more questions if you can provide quicker, more succinct answers. And lastly, the rule of the game. We need to practice a lot, right? So rehearse your pitch multiple times to multiple audiences. We all know that you've pitched a lot before, but try to remember your audience. Try to remember that an investment pitch and a pilot pitch are different things, and really build up a content that will help you get the most out of this 6 minutes. This is your ticket to enter an amazing open innovation program, and we are so eager to have you. Lastly, the team will be there to support you and to provide you with next steps. So if you have any question, please just let us know.
Good, thank you, Maria. So I would like to highlight some points, very important. We know that you already have done pitches during last years, but these have a program focused on relationship and not investment. Okay, so focus on how pilots can help these utilities. All the information about utilities are available on the website, so you can have the reverse pitch there, and then you have a very focused pitch to them, and they're probably gonna like it. And the main tip here, I think, is focus on the solution as well. We want to see what you do. So if you are able to present something and that we can feel the magic of your solution, would be great. So before the Q&A, we have here Michael from Blink Energy. Michael came from our previous edition of Electrons, so we invite him to listen to him and understand how was your experience, and if you have any tips to these guys, it would be very good.
Thanks, Thomas, and hi all. A year ago, me and my colleagues in Blink Energy was in your situation, so I think I remember how it was, and you should know that you're in good hands with Beta I. They're really professional. So the overall experience was very good, that's for sure. I would like to give you some tips, actually 3, and they've been in the presentation, but I would stress them extra for you because you're heading out for this pitch where you go from 30 down to, or is it 60? 30 down to 15, yeah. So what should be your focus? From what we experienced and learned is the focus on the pitch itself should be promoting and selling your pilot project and making sure that the utilities see the future benefits of if the proof of concept is successful. So that should be the absolute focus. Of course, there are other stuff, but this is not an investor pitch. It's a pitch of getting a pilot project. That's what they're looking for, new solutions to enhance their business, the utilities, that is. And to do it well, make a need analysis. There are a lot of information on the Free Electrons site, but of course, all these utilities have their own websites, and there are people you can reach out to try and understand their business better. It depends on what you're doing, but if you research them thoroughly, you will find out which one of the utilities are the most probable that you could, do business with, because maybe not all of them, for different reasons, are so interested in your solution. So you should know beforehand which ones are the one you're going to target, which ones suffer from the problem you solve. And if you do this work properly, you can actually address the utilities that you target in the pitch. That will only show them that you have learned about them. Of course, you don't need to exclude anyone, but you can, help them see that you have a solution that is tailored fit for their business. And also what I would like you to remember and have included in your pitch is that be clear on what the pilot partner has to help you with, aside from paying for a pilot project. It has to do with prerequisites, things that they need to have for a successful pilot to be developed and performed. Also, how much manpower, if that is needed from their organization, will be needed, the timeline, stuff like that. It all depends on what your solution is doing and how long a pilot needs to be successful and to prove your product or service. But you know this, but be clear on that, because otherwise it's very hard for the people attending this, the jury or the team that will look at your pitches. They are mainly from the innovation departments of these big corporations, and they have a great overview of the business, but you have to be clear so they understand who they in their turn should reach out to, maybe to double check, is this a real pain point and stuff like that. So the clearer you are, the better the results will be. So and also, if you know which type of business units inside these huge corporations you would like to meet if you come and get selected into the program, that's also important to let them know. It makes everything easier for the ones that are going to make the decisions in Free Electrons, which are the teams we are going to get into the program, so to speak. I think that's the main points in the step in the process where you are now. You're heading for this first pitch. And one last thing, if you get into the program, this is like a bonus. Don't expect that if you get into free electrons, everything will be served on like a silver plate. The Beta I and Free Electrons is a very professional organization, but it's a platform, it's an opportunity for you to make the most of it. So that's on you. You have to understand these are huge corporations, and the innovation managers and attending these all these work sessions you will have and everything, they are one piece in a big machinery. So you have to help them and yourself to reach out to the business units, because they have business as usual and are not maybe all focused on free electrons. So if you do that work well, you can make the most of this opportunity and have success. We had several new clients thanks to free electron, thanks to this opportunity. But I don't think it would have happened if we hadn't been really working hard on the sidelines, so to speak, even outside the program. But it wouldn't have happened if we weren't in the program. So it's kind of to understand that will help you a lot, I think. Yeah, if you have any questions, I mean, I could talk about a lot of things, but let's stop there and you can ask me questions.
Great. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. So yeah, let's move to the questions. Please, you can open your mic or just chat on the chat mode here.
So did you achieve a pilot project with one of the utilities?
Yeah, with 3 actually.
Right, okay, very good. So it's possible.
It's possible, and you should know, I didn't say that, but we have a solution, a device that prevents ice and snow on power lines. And if you look at the utilities in free electrons, not all of them are working or operating in winter geographies. So I mean, we had actually almost 100% if you given, you know, where they are located.
Mm-hmm. And I guess one more question. So you talked about identifying the business units. So in our case, we work on wind turbines. So it should be relatively easy to identify, but sometimes it's not. These organizations are a bit opaque and it's difficult to see. So how would you go about identifying the business units?
Yeah, that you're right. That's a really big challenge sometimes. But of course, you can always start out to reach out to the point of contact inside every utility. They can help you where you should go and maybe make an intro. But then you have to pick it up from there, you know, because the business units often they are, you know, they have their focus on business, on everyday business, and free electron is about providing new and better solutions for the future. So that's a kind of a dilemma. So you make use of the representatives from each utility inside free electrons, if you don't have another way of finding the right business unit, because they can help you. But then you have to, you know, you can't expect them to do your work. I would say that some startups in our cohort in the beginning were thinking that, you know, like, oh, this is nice, we get help with everything, but you know, you have to work hard.
Yes.
I guess you're in Ireland or something, so it's something. Yeah, good luck.
UK, but yeah.
If I may ask
okay.
a practical question, Michael, or maybe for Electrons, do they reserve some budget for innovation in that sense? Like, because it's sometimes you get, I've been in touch with a lot of innovation departments. Problem is sometimes that they transfer you to the operational department and they don't reserve innovation things like what we do. So is there, just from a practical point of view, do they, since they're participating in a program like this, do they reserve some budget for doing pilots with the startups that are participating?
Yes, I mean, actually, that's the whole point of free electrons. So even though maybe the business unit themselves don't have the budget, if they see that you have a solution to a problem or a pain point they actually have, what we have learned, that then the utility, that's why they have this program. I mean, they will allocate means to make it possible. So I have not heard from our experience and on no others in our cohort that would be a problem, as long as you can prove that you have a good viable solution that actually could help them.
Yeah, makes sense. That's what I assumed. But
yeah, so that's actually, I mean, that's one of the good things here. There is no problem to get funding to do pilots, but you have to prove that you have a good solution, of course, and the team is ready to do it, you know.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Go, Zach, please.
Yeah, hi, thanks very much. I've got a few questions. So as you were running through, so this is kind of a, I guess, a free electrons general question, which is, you were, you know, there's a Dublin is one stage, Sydney is another stage. Can you just clarify whether are those virtual or in person?
Okay, great. Yeah. So this first one, the utility will be in person. But the picture are going to be online, so it's kind of hybrid. The other models are all of them in person. Okay, all of the expenses are included in the free electrons program. So if you're selected, you're going to have your flight and your reservation. There's no problem. But they are in person together with the utilities. So this is a very, the main point here to have a very good relationship. So in person is something that we really appreciate.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for clarifying that. And then if I'm looking at the utilities on the webpage, the ones that are listed there have a link, except for Hydro Quebec. They don't seem to have a presentation. So that was kind of one question. And so is that between the challenges, the 23 edition challenges, that PDF, and what the utilities have put up on your website, is there anything else that we should be looking out for that is can inform things?
Yeah, I will go for those, and for extra information, I will go for the utility website itself. Some of them that have extra information there.
Because I mean, one thing that would be invaluable is obviously the edition challenges have been put together, and there are 10 of them. Is if there was, oh sorry, 9. If there was any clue or hint which of the utilities were behind which of the challenges, because that immediately helps you funnel your thinking and your you know, focus your direction of your pilot or your solution. Is there any way you can reveal or give some insight on which of the utilities were behind which of the challenges, even if there's like overlap?
Yeah, we don't have this information because they do it as a common sense. So we are not able to have this straight information from the utility, but all of them are very interesting in all the challenges in different scales, but they are looking for all of them.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I think Michael from Blink, thanks very much for your kind of contributions and insights. I think what's confidence inspiring is you saying how proactive they are, and that obviously is kind of a mutual relationship where also, you know, as the startups, we have to invest time to understand their need. But I think one of the worst things that can happen for a startup is when you invest that time and that interest and you get excited, but on the other side you have an innovation department that doesn't have a budget or doesn't have a mandate to follow through, and then that's not the sort of interaction that startups want. And it's good to hear that that's not the interaction that you've been having.
No, you can really rest assured about that, because I mean, that's why they created this program. They want innovation to happen. But of course, as I said, you have to be able to sell and promote your solution. I mean, that's key, but there is money there, and there is you can get things happen, you know, start happening if you do that correctly. Okay.
And out of curiosity, as you were going through the program, were you starting to kind of roll up and attempt to launch a pilot even before you kind of reached the grand finale stage?
Yeah, we would have liked to, but since we are in the winter business, we had to wait
Right.
until
You had
winter.
to wait.
Yeah, but we in that perspective. But some other utilities in our cohort, they launched pilots already when we had our last module in Sao Paulo, and they had already started working together with some utilities. So it's possible. They are really, if you are on, they are on, but you have to find the right business units and get them, excited.
Sure.
And also, I would like to mention one thing. This is for the ones that will get into the program. You're not there yet, but that's why I didn't focus on that in my presentation. But you will make new friends between the other startups and learnings from them, because from my experience, we had so many similar problems, even though we have totally different technologies and solutions for problems. We have similar struggles, and that as being a startup. So it was an opportunity to share, learnings, how you can maneuver that. And I think that's also one thing that we have had a lot of to the program to thank for, because otherwise we wouldn't have got so intimate with other startups.
How did the program facilitate that between different module sessions? Was there like a Slack channel or WhatsApp, or did you guys set up something organically yourself?
Yeah, there was channels you could use, but I think most of this started when we actually met in person, and then from there we have had all kinds of, formal and informal, contacts. Not with all, obviously, but,
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Thomas.
Yeah.
I have another question. Sorry. It's like when you get a pilot with these utilities through free electrons, are we going through the sort of normal procurement department of the utilities, or are we be able to bypass that? Because obviously there's quite a lot of, they might have some very rigid and formal requirements in procurement that a typical startup can't meet.
I can. We are working with 3 huge utilities, and luckily they have been able to streamline it. That's also one of the benefits of the program. Of course, there can be, depends on what you're doing, and there are a lot of security stuff and whatever. But so the simple answer, it's for us anyway, it has been quite simple. But still, simple is not super simple, because these are huge corporations and their onboarding processes, it makes your hair turn gray, even if it's simple.
Yeah,
simplified. I mean, yeah.
Go ahead, Sam, please.
Yeah, thanks, Thomas. Thanks, Maria. Thanks, Michael, for the information. My question is a little bit more of a technical one around the pitch. What is the format for presenting the material? Is that us sharing a screen with our own document in the Zoom session, so we have control, and so therefore we don't need to provide that document ahead of time, or do we need to provide it ahead of time and remotely control that?
That's exactly it, Sam. So you'll be managing your own screen and you'll be sharing the presentation. I think that's why it's so important for you to log in the app versus using the web browser, because there's usually some connectivity issues in regards to sound whenever people, particularly if they're trying to showcase any video. Okay, and the other question was during the pitch, visual feedback is important. Okay, will we see the panelists or
sponsoring utilities representatives.
Yes, you will. You'll be seeing utilities and business units. Business units will be joining mostly online. Those that will be joining the pre-electrons team in Munich will all be in a common room, working from there. Just another tip: you have a timestamp that will help you guide so that you can manage the 6 minutes as well. Okay, so both for the pitch and for the Q&A, so that you always know. And please truly try to respect it as much as you can. Otherwise, we'll interrupt you.
Will the presentations be a picture within a presentation like your presentation showed you? Or will we show somewhere else?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
Would the presentations when we're presenting, will we be shown in the corner of our presentation somewhere or on the side or where?
So you'll be sharing your screen. I don't know if that answers.
Will they see, but where will they see me?
Oh yeah, we'll have a big screen where they'll be able to see both the picture and the content they are displaying.
So we're not going to be shown in a little corner on our screen, our presentation somewhere?
No.
Okay, just question, clarify. Thank you.
Amai?
Yeah, thank you all for the great insights. I also have a follow-up question regarding the pitch, and I want to know if it's possible to have a quick, maybe 30 seconds product demonstration, or if we should rather focus on the slide deck and stick to that for the 6 minutes.
Well, I don't see any problem to have a demonstration. I think it's good, but make sure that the technical issues are okay, are set, because sometimes you want to share a video or navigate on a browser, you have some problems and probably going to miss some time over there. And then I really like to have the demonstration, but make sure that it will work.
Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you.
Good. Nina?
Hello, hi. Yeah, I don't recall if we submitted a slide deck over before with the application. Did we submitted one to free electrons to your team, Thomas?
Sorry, maybe I've missed something.
No. Yeah, I was just checking if we did submitted a slide deck to you before this with the application. Yeah, if we did, do we need to use the same? Just reconfirming on that.
No,
yeah,
we've received your pitch deck upon application, but that's also why we decided to bring this up, because not everyone opted for the same type of presentation slide deck. So please work on these documents and adapt it to this specific moment, having the pilot in mind. It's pitching a pilot and not, as Thomas said,
investment.
multiple times. It's not investment. It's truly, this is the first step of relationship building. So you are showcasing who your team is, what your solution is, and what you can bring to the table for this pre-elections cohort.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, Maria.
Good. So last question, I would like to have the help from Felipe. Alberto Steca asked it on the meeting chat. Are these companies mainly oriented to projects that will have a commercial outlet on the American market? Should we therefore orient the product accordingly to the pilot proposal?
Okay, yeah, I can help on this, Alberto. So the 6 utility partners we have on this edition for the cohort of utilities, they operate in different countries, okay? And even the utilities in the different countries, they have different business models, so they are doing different things in different parts of the world. So what you should do, if you want to focus, imagine that you are an American startup, you want to focus on the American market, so maybe you should focus on the utilities who operate there and they have a fit in what you're doing. For example, I can tell you that we have EDP, we have AP, and we have E.ON operating in the US. Even Origin, they have like a small office in California. So you have all of those guys spread all around the world. So what you need to understand is if what you are promoting to do, what you're trying to do, is a fit in the utility in that specific region. Okay, so that's why it's so important for you guys to understand and to read more about, to know more about who you are pitching, and of course direct what you're doing for a specific 1, 2, or 3 utilities and pitch them how is the perfect pilot for them. So this is what you should do. Okay, giving the case of Michael and Blink, they operate mostly on winter, so it doesn't make much sense to have in Portugal a pilot with EDP, but they are doing a pilot in EDP in Spain, right, Michael? Because Spain, they have like snow and winter, it's more and more aggressive in Spain than in Portugal. So they're doing a pilot with EDP, that is a Portuguese-based company, but they have also a business in Spain, and they're doing a pilot in Spain. So you should try to understand all of those small things and focus on that. If you are focusing on going to the US market, you should do that. Okay.
Great. Yeah. So first of all, thank you very much for your time. We are over time right now. I would like to highlight as well, just as Felipe said, try to have all the information from the utilities, try to not be generical, and try to focus on their business if it's possible. But anyway, most of all of these contacts will be developed during the program. However, it's very common to those that are not on the top 30 or not on the top 15. Even then, the utilities may contact you. So it's very good to have this first impression, because if you are not going to the top 30, some utilities can reach you out and try to understand if a pilot is possible. So there's no problem with that. So everybody is on board. Of course, the top 30 and the top 15, it's very usual to have startups that are good for most of utilities. But if you're achieving just one utility, there's no problem. The problem you reach out apart from the program. Okay, so people, thank you very much. We're recording this. We're going to send you the link if you want to review it. And you're going to send some orientations to next week. And anytime, please just call us. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey,
Have
thanks,
a good day.
Thomas.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you very much.
Good luck.
Thanks very much. Thank you,
Thank
Michael. Thank you,
everyone.
Thomas.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Philip.
Good luck.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Maria.
Bye.
Cheers.
Thank you, Michael. Bye.